Hello and welcome to the Channel One Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Owula Hansen Lane at Tesano. I'm Frema Adunyame. Coming up. Asante North residents question continuous detention of the RMP in Amsterdam, the Netherlands.
I said the new said the MP, no. When you nipa boni ni my and the engine too, I say ya che. You can be an ekinson e kasa no.
NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia condemns what he calls acts of intimidation and harassment of NPP members. Hundreds of Ghanaians remain stranded at offices of NIA as workers embark on strike.
So what I'm doing, I'm stranded. I don't know where to go from here. And so we are pleading the officials or the stakeholders that are involved to have a second look at what they are asking for, and so that they can be able.
Pressure mounts on authorities to operationalize the Mancron Chips compound in Aguna East District of the Central Region 6 years after completion.
Any hospital be our or in parents say, I need a serious one for you to cry with him. Nsanka never pay me no say, watch and what hacker grandson, what number what nako.
In Channel One Business. Economy records strong growth in February 2026, with the economy expanding by 7.7%. And in Channel One Sports, Ghana's Abdul Rashid Saminu and Joseph Paul Amwa miss out on medals in men's 100 meters final at ongoing African Senior Athletics Championships. In our first story, residents in the Asante North constituency have broken their silence over the arrest of their Member of Parliament, Ohene Kwame Frimpong, by authorities in the Netherlands, describing the incident as unfair, embarrassing and a disgrace to the people of the area. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Brightia Boa reports.
The Member of Parliament was reportedly arrested on Tuesday, May 12, 2026, according to a statement issued by the Clerk of Parliament, Ebenezer Ahuma Giatro. So far, no further details have been provided regarding the circumstances surrounding the detention. Some residents in the constituency who spoke to the media expressed disbelief over the arrest, describing the development as shocking and unexpected.
I'm so far no parliament na issue by nyanti bi from on camp so we say no cry na no cry ti e hwede nyame be
no kwasem ni eye me ya me da cry me na if you say I hear from pon ba no oboa enkwala pen je say akurafo no kura na nchen a o ti ma wa ho fama oba ya haya o je say hwan kwa be na ma be cheche akuro yi mu nyina.
Some residents in the constituency have also described the arrest as unfair and an embarrassment to the state. They expressed disappointment over the development, insisting that the treatment meted out to him is unfortunate and damaging to the image of the constituency and the country at large.
I said the new said the MP, no. When you nipa boni ni my and the engine too, I say ya che. You can be an ekinson e kasa no. Entro onwa ene na do ye bia wa ye ana ma hu se atanfo bi pese o gu nani wa se anu gwase ene o gu obi aboa obi aboa me ya Frema not obi aboa obi etin nanu ase wasase suda me na make a.
Meanwhile, the Majority Chief Whip and MP for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo, says the leadership of Parliament is working with the Foreign Minister and the Attorney General to get him back home.
We have brought in the foreign minister, we brought in our ambassador to Hague, we brought in the attorney general because he has to deal with some legal issues in terms of the statute of Rome because he's traveling on a diplomatic passport. Speaker himself has been brought in, clerk. So we've coordinated this matter very well. We have a lawyer for him now. The lawyer is a Ghanaian based in The Hague, but he qualified in Hague, so he practices there. And so he's dealing with the issues. But let me confirm that he's fine. We engaged yesterday. Today, I had further engagement with the lawyers. This matter broke on Sunday morning. So it's, I believe that it was yesterday that it became news in Ghana, but the arrest actually happened on Sunday when he was on transit from Accra on KLM through Schiphol to London. It's a private trip, I must say, but he's traveling on a diplomatic passport. So that's why the Parliament is so concerned in dealing with the issues.
Former Vice President and NPP presidential candidate Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has criticized what he describes as a growing pattern of intimidation against opposition members, warning that Ghana's democracy and free speech are under siege. In a statement issued on Wednesday, 13th May, Dr. Bawumia expressed concern over what he called persistent attacks, arrests, detentions, and what he described as unconscionable bail conditions targeting members and supporters of the NPP since the NDC assumed office. He cited recent incidents, including the arrest, detention, and subsequent release of social media user David Isando, who was reportedly picked up after commenting online about the return of Dumso. He also pointed to the remand of Kwame Bafo-Abronye DC, the Bono regional chairman of the NPP, describing the development as part of a broader trend of political intimidation. According to him, these actions undermine free expression and risk reversing gains made in Ghana's democratic governance. Now, away from that, a new law is set to transform the path to becoming a lawyer in Ghana, opening the door for more universities to offer professional legal training. The reforms also remove the long-standing entrance exam barrier faced by many LLB graduates after the end of the Ghana School of Law's monopoly. Channel One News' Hans Najman breaks it down.
Big changes are coming to legal education in Ghana, and they could make the journey to becoming a lawyer much more straightforward. Until now, after earning a Bachelor of Laws LLB, students had to pass a tough entrance exams to get into the Ghana School of Law, the only place where you could take the professional law course. Many qualified students struggled with this stage because of the low pass rates. That's about to change. A new law passed under the Legal Education Act and assented by President John Dramani Mahama on Monday, May 11, 2026, shifts how legal education is managed. Instead of the General Legal Council handling everything, a new body, the Council for Legal Education, will now oversee and regulate professional legal training. What does this mean?
Turn up your sound experience with the We Hear speakers by Lovi. From the sleek We Hear 1 to the powerful We Hear 2, and now the premium We Hear Pro. Fully endorsed by Kylian Mbappe. This is not just a speaker, it's a flexible, high-performance outdoor Bluetooth speaker built to bring your music to life anywhere. With up to 100 watts of music power, you get bold, immersive sound wherever you go. All available in stylish standout colors. Now the good news: from April 20th to May 20th, grab yours at a special discounted price. The We Hear 1 now at 400 Ghana cedis, the We Hear 2 at 900 Ghana cedis, and the premium We Hear Pro now as 3,800 Ghana cedis. Don't miss out. Call 020-195-7739 or pick up at the Atlantic Towers. You can also grab yours at Orange FM Kumasi, Plus FM, or 3 Music TV in Accra. Number 12 of Funya Ola Street at Belengpe. Don't miss out on this special discounted offer. It's the We Here promo powered by Novi. We Here, feel the power, hear the difference.
From Accra to Buenos Aires, from Lagos to London, the world is locking in for the greatest football spectacle on earth, the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But before the first whistle cuts through the noise, there's a deeper rhythm to the game. Every badge carries history, every player brings a story, every number means something. Welcome to World Cup Central, only on Channel One TV.
Hello and welcome to another episode of World Cup Central right on Channel One TV.
Your home of football intelligence with African energy and global perspective. We're taking you beyond the highlights, from powerful eye-opening stats to sharp breakdowns of every qualified nation to insights that change how you see the beautiful game.
Their first appearance was in 1930 and their best finish at the World Cup was third place in 1930. That was a long time ago.
You're welcome back, and we apologize for that break. We go back to our earlier story where a new law is set to transform the path to becoming a lawyer in Ghana, opening the door for more universities to offer professional legal training. The reforms also remove the long-standing entrance exam barrier faced by many LLB graduates after the end of the Ghana School of Law's monopoly. Channel One News' Hansen Ajiman breaks it down.
Big changes are coming to legal education in Ghana, and they could make the journey to becoming a lawyer much more straightforward. Until now, after earning a Bachelor of Laws LLB, students had to pass a tough entrance exams to get into the Ghana School of Law, the only place where you could take the professional law course. Many qualified students struggled with this stage because of the low pass rates. That's about to change. A new law passed under the Legal Education Act and assented by President John Dramani Mahama on Monday, May 11, 2026, shifts how legal education is managed. Instead of the General Legal Council handling everything, a new body, the Council for Legal Education, will now oversee and regulate professional legal training. What does this mean in practice? Simply put, more universities can now offer the professional law course, not just the Ghana School of Law. Schools like the University of Ghana, UPSA, KNUST, and Central University can run these programs as long as they meet certain standards and receive accreditation. These standards to be set by the Council for Legal Education are spelled out in Section 22 of the Act, and they include having the right lecturers, facilities, and library resources to properly train law students. One of the biggest shifts is this: the Ghana School of Law's 66-year monopoly on professional legal training is ending. So instead of you finishing your LLB and then writing an entrance exams to get into law school, you could complete both your academic and professional training at the same university. Along the way, you would also gain practical experience, like working in an agency or providing legal services to people who need them. After that, all students will sit for a standardized national bar exams. These exams will cover key areas like civil and criminal procedure, evidence, advocacy, ethics, conveyancing, drafting, and law practice management. A national committee will determine how the exams is conducted. So what happens to the Ghana School of Law? It's not going away. Under the new law, it will play an important role. For example, it will offer remedial classes for students who failed the bar exams and want to try again. It will also run post-court courses for lawyers trained in other countries who want to practice in Ghana. And for students already enrolled at the Ghana School of Law, nothing changes for them. They will finish their training under the current system.
As Goldfields leads to the Tarkwa mines nears expiration in 2027, the Institute of Economic Affairs has begun a campaign for government to give priority to Ghanaian ownership in the selection of the next lease. The South African company has already applied for an extension of the lease to the Tarkwa mine, which produces about 20% of the company's global output. Details in this report.
In 2027, the Tarkwa gold mine will be up for grabs when Goldfields' lease expires. Company CEO Mike Fraser has already been to Ghana lobbying for an extension of the lease. However, the Institute of Economic Affairs is advocating for the Tarkwa mines to return to Ghanaian ownership.
Why should we continue for a process that has not worked for us for 30 years? No roads, no hospitals, no clinics, no good water, nothing. And you have an opportunity to change the driver of the car to an indigenous owner who you can hold, and if possible, you can go to his mother or father and ask, why are you doing this to our people? You rather say the foreigner should continue. I don't think that's progress.
Former Chief Justice Sufaya Kufo warns the Ghanaian public to vehemently oppose any move to extend the Goldfield lease.
The IEA, therefore, calls upon the government, parliament, traditional authorities, civil society organizations, labor groups, and every Ghanaian who fancies themselves to be patriotic to resist any and every attempt to approve an extension of the Tarkwa mine lease to Goldfields.
This call by the IEA is getting support from members of parliament. The MP for Mpriso, Davis Ansaupoku, says the country must take ownership of its natural resources.
Even if we decide that we are going to give it to indigenous companies owned by Ghanaians, let's do that. That is the only way you can prop up Ghanaian businesses and ensure that. And sometimes when you speak, people think that the only indigenous company that is into the mining sector is EMP. No. There's Rockshore, there's Marapoma. There are bigger companies also in the sector. So let's begin to ensure we prop them up. Let's begin to ensure that they own these facilities. And of course, I mean, they will see much more improved. So if the monies are sitting in our banks, the banks will get more money to give more loans. If the monies are sitting in the banks, the state will be able to rely on these funds and use that to develop our local economy.
Now, for more, we are joined on the phone lines by Member of Parliament from Mpriso, Davis Opoku Ansah. Thank you very much, Honourable, for joining us.
Thank you, Frema. How are you, Frema?
I'm well, thank you. Now, Goldfields has already applied for an extension to their lease. So why are you backing calls for their rejection?
I think, first of all, we need to appreciate that Ghana, as a country in the last 40 years, has been to the IMF 17 times. I mean, what this tells us is one thing. I mean, Ghana is rich in resources, but very poor in our value retention. And I mean, we cannot keep on exporting gold and importing a ship. And that is why, for me, it's important for us to have this conversation. Last year, Goldfields reportedly, I mean, made some 547 million in profit from Ghana. Yet many mining communities still lack development. And if you have been to Tarkwa, if you've been to been to WASSCE and everything, you clearly would see that these communities really lack the necessary amenities for them to survive, especially in the mining environment, like what they see themselves. So after nearly 30 years of mining, I mean, so people are asking, what exactly has changed? I mean, in terms of the ordinary citizen in the mining area. And so for me, it's important that these state assets revert to Ghana. And what we are saying is that, I mean, if the state do not find any credible mining company worthy, the state should own these mines. If you were to go to South Africa, you realize that the state in South Africa, despite private people owning mines, is able to operate a mining on its own. Today, what Goldfields is doing in our country is quite simple. I mean, when it comes to the operations, I mean, the operations of the mine, they have given it to indigenous Ghanaian companies. And all they do is that when it gets to the ore bed, they are able to come for it, now get it into a gold, and they export it and sell. And so just put your mind to it. Last year, Goldfields made over $547 million of profit in Ghana. That money, if the company or Ghana whatever as a corporate institution owns the mine, that $547 million will be staying in our country. We don't need to be going to the IMF.
Right. But Honorable, granted the Tarkwa line, is returned to Ghanaian ownership, would you recommend some policy changes so that the mines can really maximize its benefits?
Yes, I will. I mean, for instance, we need to ensure that workers in the mining sector are catered for. I mean, there has to be some standards that will be set. I mean, I've received some complaints from people here and there. We need to ensure that workers are taken care of because it's a high-risk environment, and their safety and their welfare and their well-being should be a concern to these companies who will be taken over from the foreign entities. 2, we need to also ensure that the state is not just getting that 5, 10, or 15% of what they call royalties anymore. I mean, the state should own these firms, make sure that the gold sits with them, so that, we would determine how these funds are used. We need money to develop Ghana. We need money to construct more roads. We need money to build hospitals. $547 million cannot just be carried away from our country to a different state.
It was earlier that mine, now Tarkwa. Are we not sending the wrong signals to foreign investors?
No, not at all. Not at all. We are not doing what the South Africans are doing. Today, if you go to South Africa, Ghanaian firms, Ghanaian companies are being closed down. Legitimate Ghanaian companies are being closed down. These are companies that came to us. They wanted concession for 30 years. We gave them, for instance, Goldfields came in with some $3 million investment. Today, I can tell you they've made over $16 billion from Ghana. What is it that we have gotten? So it is not as if we are taking their mines from them. No. What we are doing is that you requested for 30 years. In our reverse, to want us to renew it. I can understand. So 30 years ago, we didn't really have indigenous Ghanaian firms who could operate these mines. 30 years ago, we really didn't have mining engineers in Ghana. But today, we have a whole university of mines, UMAT, in Tarkwa, which continuously produces graduates in the mining industry. These are persons who are working in large firms.
Now, let me find out from you, does the recent xenophobic attacks on Ghanaian businesses, has any influence on your advocacy, for
me, yes.
Right.
For me, completely, yes. The people of South Africa must get to understand that it is our money. 547 million last year, the profit that was made went to South Africa. Sat in their banks. It was used to develop their country. So they cannot continually attack our people. Persons who have just gone to want to get some monies or to want to work hard and make some money and come and settle their families cannot continually enjoy attacks.
Very well.
Let us invest those monies in our country.
Very well.
And let's make some good money and bring our people in South Africa to come and work in Ghana.
Very well. Member of Parliament for Price, so the Honorable Davis Upukwansa. Thank you very much for your time. Right, so this is still the Channel One Newsroom. Moving on, operations at the National Identification Authority have been brought to a standstill as staff under the Public Services Workers Union embark on an indefinite strike. The union members are protesting delays in the approval and implementation of migration reports linked to their conditions of service, leaving thousands of Ghana card applicants stranded across the country. Channel One News' Rachel Engman has more.
The industrial action follows nearly 2 years of waiting for approval from the Ministry of Finance after the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission completed the migration exercise. The Deputy General Secretary of the union, John Sampa, says an initial notice of strike was suspended to allow for dialogue. However, authorities have shown bad faith, leaving them with no option.
This industrial action is completely avoidable, but for the fact that we don't get much attention from those that need to take the decision, that is why we have gotten this. And I want to take this opportunity also to serve notice that there are so many agreements that the fair wages have entered with the unions, including the Public Services Workers Union. The Public Services Workers Union, we are a union that is made up of smaller groups. And each of these smaller organizations, they have their peculiar situation. Some of them, there are things that have been agreed with fair wages. For about 6 months, fair wages say that they have submitted a report, but Minister of Finance is not giving the approval.
The strike has led to the closure of several NIA offices nationwide, with operations completely halted and no staff available to attend to applicants. Some applicants who traveled long distances to the Greater Accra Regional Office were met with locked doors, expressing frustration over the disruption and calling for urgent government intervention to restore services.
I'm having a problem with my Ghana card, the name. So I came here to do the changes. And it's a bit disappointing for me to get here and the office is locked and I learned they are on strike. It's very disappointing. Now, Ghana card has been a key credential that we use in our country here today. So I believe government should come through and then help to salvage this issue, because we are looking at the long term or the broader issue of it, which can cause a lot of challenges and problems.
With services disrupted at the National Identification Authority following an indefinite strike, workers say they will remain off duty until their demands are met. Reporting for Channel One News, I am Rachel Engman.
Meanwhile, individuals visiting offices of the National Identification Authority in the Ashanti region were left disappointed following the strike. Channel One News' Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Hafiz Tijani, visited some of the offices and reports.
At the Ashanti Regional Office and other district offices of the NIA, the usual bustling environment was without any activity. Individuals who were not aware of the strike and turned up to these offices for service delivery were left stranded and disappointed.
I have misplaced my ID card, my national ID card. So I came for a replacement, only for me to be told that they are on strike. I have been sitting for more than an hour. No one seems coming. And so, you see, we are so much frustrated. A friend of mine is also coming to have his own done. But then I have just given him an information that the people are on strike.
For this service, I need it within the next 2 days. Maybe for the next 72 hours. I will be pleased if it will be. My wish will be satisfied. That's why I'm here.
The affected applicants want concerns of the workers addressed so they can resume work.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stranded. I don't know where to go from here. And so we are pleading the officials or the stakeholders that are involved to have a second look at what they are asking for, and so that they can be able to return to work.
The industrial action was declared in a directive issued by the NIA division of the union following what it described as a unanimous decision by its divisional executive council after the expiration of a 7-day notice earlier served by the mother union.
The people who are coming here are appealing to the government to settle the grievances of the workers, to get them back to work, to serve them. Hafiz Tijani, Channel One News, Kumasi, Ashanti Region.
And the National Labour Commission is scheduled to meet leaders of the National Identification Authority, NIA, and other relevant stakeholders on Thursday, 14th May 2026, over ongoing labour concerns for arbitration. Speaking in an interview on Newsfeed on Channel One TV, the head of the Corporate Affairs Directorate of the NIA, Williams Ampoma Emmanuel Dallas, said notices have been served to NIA management, union leadership, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and all relevant stakeholders for engagement on conditions of service.
But the National Labour Commission yesterday issued a sermon inviting the management of the National Identification Authority, the leadership of the union, the local union, and then the mother union, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and then the Finance Ministry. Now, The sermon, or the invitation was 20th of May. But now there's another letter from the National Labour Commission bringing it to tomorrow, the 14th of May, 2026.
Now, away from that, the Ghana Education Service has warned candidates and examinations officials against malpractices as this year's WASSCE begins nationwide. Authorities say anyone caught engaging in cheating or related offences will face prosecution under measures aimed at protecting the credibility of the examination process. Channel One News' Isaac Ofer filed this report and was read by Manuel Ayama.
More than 500,000 final year senior high school students across Ghana have begun writing this year's West African Senior School Certificate examination. This year also marks Ghana's return to the common West African examination timetable after several years of writing separate papers following the COVID-19 pandemic. During a monitoring tour of examination centers, Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Smile Gavwa Jesse, issued a strong warning against examination malpractice. She says candidates, invigilators, and heads of schools found aiding or engaging in malpractice will be arrested and prosecuted.
During the BC, we still had issues of examination malpractice that we are not happy about. With all the campaigns that we have been embarking, we still have some teachers and invigilators daring. And we want to remind them again that we'll catch them and they'll be in trouble.
Professor GC further noted that Ghana's return to the regional examination calendar is expected to reduce the cost of administering separate national examinations.
Sometime now, as I said, we've not been writing the WAEC with the other countries, and that has been costing the country a lot of money. But our Honorable Minister, our Director General, and all of us, including WAEC, we work very hard with our calendar, with all the resources and all that we have to make sure that Ghana will be able to ride this WASSCE with other West Africa countries as well.
Some students at Accra High School who spoke to Channel One News expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the first day of the examinations.
We were thinking it would be very difficult to the extent that we can't even write. The invigilators will be very strict on us, but it wasn't like that.
Meanwhile, the Ashanti Regional Office of the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, says it is fully prepared to deal with examination malpractice, which is tarnishing the image of the region. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Doris Lonta has more in this report.
Speaking to Channel One News, the Ashanti Regional Branch Controller of WAEC, Ernest Akotoyeboah, indicated that the region consistently tops the list of regions associated with examination malpractice after the Council's annual assessments, alongside the Bono and Ahafo regions, a trend he describes as worrying. He explained that as part of measures to curb malpractice during this year's examinations, WAEC is working closely with security agencies, including the BNI and other security services.
Mostly we top Ashanti and then Brown Ahafo. In irregularity cases, both in numbers and percentage. This is not something that anyone will be pleased with. See, BD Festa is not examination malpractice. We want a situation where the malpractice will go down. So that's what we are working against. So yes, I know that people are prepared to cheat, but we are also prepared.
He further disclosed that 2 additional examination depots have been introduced this year, increasing the number of depots to 30.
Last year, we were using 28 depots. This year, we've added 2 more at Yinahini and Esiwa. Now, the depots are supposed to bring the officers closer to the examination centers so that they can also control the examination malpractice. And also supposed to prevent schools from traveling long distances before going for the question. Sometimes that alone can cause examination malpractice.
WAEC says measures have been intensified to prevent examination malpractice in the Ashanti region. Reporting for Channel One News, I'm Doris Lonta.
This is the Channel One Newsroom. Up next is Channel One Business with Nete Ajaho.
CNR Business is brought to you by EcoBank.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
You're welcome, Natalie.
Thank you,
How
Frema.
you doing?
I'm good.
Super. Tell us what's happening in business.
Economic growth. The economy is growing faster as compared to last year. Yeah.
From you can feel it.
Service.
Can you feel it?
That's the problem.
It's okay. Don't worry. Please go on.
Okay, let's get straight to our stories. And economic activity in Ghana recorded strong growth in February 2026, with the economy expanding by 7.7% year-on-year. This is according to the latest monthly indicator of economic growth released by the Ghana Statistical Service. The data points to sustained momentum across key sectors of the economy, with services emerging as the biggest driver of growth during the period. Here is more.
The report showed that the services sector expanded by 7.4% and contributed 47.6% of the overall economic growth recorded in February 2026. Growth within the sector was largely driven by increased activity in the information and communication subsector. Government statisticians
We'll bring you the full report in our subsequent bulletin. Sorry for that mishap. Now, latest findings from the 2025 Old Mutual Financial Wellness Monitor point to a rise in confidence in Ghana's economy, with nearly 7 in 10 people expecting conditions to improve further. The data also highlights a positive trajectory in personal income, with about 37% of respondents saying they are earning more than they did a year ago, a 15 percentage point increase since 2023. This report has more details.
According to the 2025 Old Mutual Financial Wellbeing Monitor, nearly 1 in 2 respondents now express confidence in the economy. This marks an improvement almost 3 times higher than the 17% recorded in 2023. Speaking on the findings, Head of Knowledge and Insights at Old Mutual cautioned that despite these encouraging gains, financial vulnerabilities remain a concern for many consumers.
We've seen almost doubling the number of people who are now saying that they're confident in the economy, and still almost 7 in 10 people saying also they think things will continue to improve. A large part of this is that the macroeconomic environment has improved in the country. The governance and the systems in place, people are starting to feel the changes that are happening from a political and economical standpoint, as well as being able to manage their expenses better. So people have more money in their pocket, the prices of things have reduced, and they're able to start to save more for their businesses, for their children's education, etc.
Group CEO of Old Mutual Ghana explained that the study seeks to better understand the financial realities and confidence levels of Ghanaians.
The key learnings here is not only as Old Mutual, but as an industry, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of financial education side. I think it is a journey that we need to still travel. We need to invest in terms of time and resources, in terms of educating the public, because you have a lot of people who are making financial decisions without all that information. So as Old Mutual, we want to invest our time in terms of pushing the financial education.
Government is pursuing a nationwide rollout of 5G services to boost digital connectivity and broadband access. Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation Samuel Nati George disclosed this at the 15th anniversary soft launch of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications. There's more in the following report.
The Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, Samonate George, noted that government is targeting 70% population coverage of 5G services by 2027. The move is expected to support digital transformation, improve connectivity, and drive growth within the telecommunications sector.
70% population coverage by Ghana at 70. It's going to be the fastest rollout anywhere in the world. It's ambitious, yes, I know, but that's why we are the shining black star. We will make it possible and people will come and learn from the expertise that we have on the team. And so to achieve this, the NCA is finalizing a 10-year national spectrum management framework. And this follows international best practices. And again, we've indicated that we want to have one national rollout date for everybody, as much as practical. That is the ambition.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Sylvia Owusu Ankuma, has welcomed the government's 2027 target for achieving 5G population coverage, describing it as a positive step for the growth of the country's digital ecosystem.
In mature markets, people have even moved to 6G. So Ghana is about 8 years behind the 5G revolution. So I'm excited that the ministry is now setting us on the right path. We were in a framework where we only had a wholesaler, and he's liberating the space in such a way that it's competitive enough.
Let's now bring you an update on crude oil prices and how the local currency is performing on the interbank market. And that's all for business. I am Netili Netiaja. Back to you, Frema.
Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Okay. Now to some other stories. Community members in Mankron Kwanta in the Aguna East District of the Central Region are mounting pressure on authorities to operationalize a CHIPS compound completed 6 years ago. The death of a mother of 4 children in the community has sparked anger for the facility to open. Our Central Regional correspondent, Akwesiado, has more in this report.
45-year-old Helena Kumi and a mother of 4, 2 boys and 2 girls, remained hale and hearty. She even actively participated in the installation of the community's new chief, which occurred less than a month ago. However, she was taken ill with an acute stomach upset in the deep night of Tuesday, May 5, 2026. Relatives became helpless and perplexed as the main road linking Mankron Kwanta to Aguna Suedro fell into deep silence with no passing vehicle. By the time help arrived, she had already become weak and subsequently pronounced dead upon arrival at a hospital in Aguna Suedro. Relatives believe her passing could have been avoided if the community's health facility was in operation.
We lost one of our ladies, our beautiful woman. He just got a stomach ache. In the morning, she's gone, just like that. When we rushed her to the hospital, Suedro, before we get there, she has already lost her life. If there's a clinic or if there's a hospital here, we'll have rushed her. The distance from Nkwanta to Suedro, within that time, she lost her life. But if it was here, maybe we wouldn't have lost her.
For 6 years, the Mankron Kwanta CHIPS compound has remained under lock following its completion, a situation residents are not enthused about.
Any hospital be our parents say any serious won't find Ukraine with him. Nsanka never pay no say washing Wahaka Cransa or number or Nako.
Calls for government to operationalize the facility have been intensified.
Yeah, she said contract and back. What Mabel says, Yama assess our
yasha na afọ mu wi na a letter eko district assembly na o ma hwa mo dem pana dia besi no matuma provide and SSB na o matumi alabaye mo because man kon nse ni clinic bia strong.
Chief of the community, Nana Onoma Amwakwa Babio V, describes health facility as a critical infrastructure for every community. He has therefore taken steps to refurbish portions of the building which have deteriorated as a result of the long years of neglect. The chief hopes a governmental intervention will be secured once the renovation work sponsored by himself is completed.
I think the first Monday, itu anamon ko share clinic na esiwo for over 4 and 6 years, right? 6 years. Na she nim ti a free contractor na obey business no be assess home so yes so ba be doors na there. Be say omuntu sana mo no it's doors me be twa koma DC na assembly no na me provide them na start adwuma. Okay. Yeah,
this health facility has been abandoned for several years, while residents continue to suffer in times of health emergencies. Residents are appealing to the government in an earnest fashion to pay attention and have this facility operationalized. For the Channel One Newsroom, I am Akwesi Ado, Mankron Kwanta, Central Region.
You're still watching the Channel One Newsroom. Still ahead.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Bensuni, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friend, Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friend, me once now.
Hey, that's a new. Improve car. Yeah. Captain, mosquito, double the action.
Sasso spray, Mr. Friend is Sasso quell. Yeah, come to my Sasso.
Come tum preko.
The best part of going home is family.
Sit down. Hey, mommy, my wife is cooking something delicious.
Hot pepper sauce, spicy.
Lizzie Shito, the Shito is Shitole. Lizzie Shito, over fail.
Lizzie Shito, Kasan. Please, can I take some to school tomorrow?
Yes, my son, you can. Lizzie Shito, dear. Ebesu Obiasu.
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy.
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Spicy.
For bulk purchase, kindly contact 050-168-3344 or 050-155-0998. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello again. Up next is Channel One Sports with Bernard Abeikochri. Abiku, welcome.
Thank you.
Why are we missing out on medals, at the Athletics Championship, just as Arsenal would be missing out on trophies?
Why would you have to end the question like that?
Well, I'm just thinking out loud,
Okay,
that's... But why? The medals, why?
This tournament in particular, or championship if you want, it has brought a lot of controversies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you go on.
And because Ghana is with you, let's just be calm after the event.
We will. Please give us the details.
Let's get into this, shall we now? Ghana's Abdul Rashid Saminu and Joseph Paul Amwa missed out on medals in the men's 100 meters final at the African Senior Athletics Championship as Cameroon's Emmanuel Esme stormed to gold. Channel One Sports' Pius Asak reports from day 2 at the championship at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
Cameroon's Emmanuel Esme powered to victory in the men's 100 meters final at the African Athletics Championship, clocking 10.25 seconds to secure gold at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. The race was followed by a prolonged delay as officials reviewed the results after a tightly contested finish among the sprinters. The uncertainty left Team Ghana awaiting confirmation of the final standings for Joseph Paul Amwa and Abdul Rashid Saminu. After the review, Amwa was placed 4th in 10.32 seconds, narrowly missing out on a podium spot, while Saminu finished with the same time. Here is Ghana's team captain Joseph Paul Amwa speaking after the race.
Relay is tomorrow. We're gonna miss Ben, but we're hoping to, let whatever team that we put together be a good one. Yeah. We are sure Ghanaians that we get to the finals and make sure that we get a medal. In the relay. We want gold. In the relay. I'm sure the other guys also want gold, so it's who wants it best. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Yvonne Britain fell short of a podium finish in the women's 100 meters hurdles final. Nigeria's world record holder Toby Amusan once again proved dominant, clinching gold in the event. Britain described her performance as disappointing following the race.
It's like not the number that I want. I want number 1. So always when you go out on the track, you need to be wanting to be number 1 because what's the point if you're not trying to be the best? So every time you go out there, you just try your best and you focus on yourself. And so that's the thing about track. It's just you versus you. I didn't have my best race. It's fine. So we're just going to keep working, getting back inside the lab and then preparing for our next couple races.
Toby Amusan, on the other hand, expressed her excitement after successfully defending her title while praising the talent pool of Nigerians.
So, seeing the young talent coming up and then following the footstep of, the people I met and, myself, it's going to be a great one for hurdles and, sprinting in general for Nigeria here.
In other results, Blessed Owusu of St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School finished 4th in the men's 400 meters semi-finals. Reporting for Channel One Sports, I'm Pius Asak.
Hello, from Pius Asak. Let's touch on this important issue. Now, a delegation from the Agogo traditional area has officially informed Accra Great Olympics of the passing of their lifetime patron, the paramount chief of Agogo, Nana Akwaku Sapon. There is more in this report by Channel One sports journalist Julio Ashifi Amwa.
The delegation, led by the Adonson Hene of the Agogo traditional area, Nana Akwaku Sapon, paid a solemn visit to the club to officially communicate the loss. The late chief shared a long-standing relationship with Great Olympics dating back to the 1970s and played a key role in the club's campaign on the African continent. He also served as chairman of the club's management committee on 3 separate occasions. Speaking on behalf of the delegation, the Adontin Hene says it is right to come to the club looking at how deep the relationship is between the Oman Hene and the club.
Hede munyina mwatine mframam se Nana Akwaku Sapon wanya ne ba bi kro no ena ye da ye ba be bom amane officially efiri se Nana no di akuten pa Great Olympics im no ye patron nti se BBC Asia enim se ne yonko pa so no lawyer Metefio one ayunuma bebre abusua ne nananom trasia yentimi nya amamre ne amane a yemfa metumo so mu anim.
The delegation was received by the chairman of Great Olympics, Major retired Amakai Amantefiu, Vice Chairman Nick Amantefiu, CEO Oloboy Komodo, and Interim Management Committee member Samuel Okrain. Speaking on behalf of the club, Major Amantefiu described the late patron as a committed figure who bled white and blue.
A true member of the Olympics family at various levels. He had blue and white not only in his veins and in his arteries. He had blue and white in his heart.
He further assured the bereaved family of the club's full support ahead of the one-week observation scheduled for June 4.
Before I go, Manchester City beat Crystal Palace in the English Premier League in their outstanding fixture by 3-0. That will be the very latest from the world of sport. And I am Bernard Abikoatri. That's your sports friends.
Thank you very much. And now on that good note, this is where we part company. This has been the Channel One Newsroom. But do visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for information on our top stories.